I stopped using the internet on my phone for 7 days in order to become more productive in my writing. What was the result? First day, it was incredible. I felt like a burden had been lifted off of me. I woke up in the morning, I didn't have to check social media and check and doom scroll and all that stuff. Second day, though, it didn't really go like that. I did want to check social media, but it wasn't that intense. I also noticed that there were certain things happening in my life that I wanted to share with my friends with whom I talk online because they don't live in the city where I live, and you pay for internet anyway. Sometimes SMS cost, but it's also more fun to talk with the internet because you can use emojis, and you can also use voice recording, and it makes the interaction more fun and easier actually. And moving to the rest of the days, I came to appreciate internet and social media, but I realized also what was the problem with how I was using them. And as for my writing progress, there was minimal writing progress because in the end, social media wasn't the problem. It was a very small part of it, but it wasn't the whole thing. The problem was simply my inability to keep my mind focused on a specific task. So if I had difficulties with my writing, instead of sitting down and trying to work through these problems and find a solution and move forward in the story, I ended up checking my phone, doom scrolling, you know. I did have significant progress on the first day when I actually wrote the most. And I realized that I did not have to make some changes that I wanted to make, which were actually, they kept making me postpone writing my book because these changes meant that I had to write everything from the beginning because I wanted to change the point of view character for each chapter. I will talk about my writing in more detail in another video, but when it comes to social media and the internet, I came to appreciate it more while I was abstaining from it. I appreciated the interaction, how social media helps us truly connect with others. I know we say that, and it's true, that social media have made people more closed off from other people. They have made people more antisocial or unable to actually socialize in real life. But if you did not begin as a child with being countless hours in front of a screen, and if you had friends as a child, and if you socialized with them, and if your parents took you to little cousins or in places where you can play with other children and interact with them, I believe you will never feel the need to become so addicted to social media and to base your entire social life through them. Another thing that I missed from the internet, which I didn't expect, is watching videos from specific people that I appreciate and I really like listening to their opinion. And I feel like I actually get something intellectually from them, that my mental aspect is actually advancing. I become smarter in a way by listening to them. I feel like they feel a part of me that, of course, books can also do, but in a different way because it's very different to read information that are facts proven by science. It's another thing to listen to another person's opinion on topics, and it also makes you question what your belief is. And that's a great thing, I believe, to have, and we need to practice this more as people. So I missed this kind of videos, but I did not miss all the comedians that I was watching, all the ASMR videos that I was watching because I like some of the ASMR videos. Funny thing is that I've been meditating for a long time. And yet, when I came home from work, I would watch ASMR in order to relax. But did I really need that? No. I did not. And I realized this now that I abstained from social media and all the doom scrolling. And of course, I realized other negative aspects of social media and the internet in general is the fact that we have unlimited sources of information. The problem is not that we have all this information, but that we are curious and we will find ourselves searching for things that are pointless or they are completely useless to our lives. And we will waste time reading about these things which are going to lead us to other things and other information and other questions. I remember very specifically one day I was searching for how the world was going to be if there was no rain. And I was searching for this in order to write my book because in my book there is no rain. There is no sea, there is no lakes, the water is artificial. And I was searching the lack of rain would make our world look like. At some point, I was reading what the world will be like if it rained Pepsi or Coca Cola. And it's so pointless, so useless. Why would you even search for that? I was not, but it was in the recommended questions in Quora, I think. I went down that rabbit hole for no reason. It's not a problem that we have this information. The problem is that we lose track of what's really important to us. Oftentimes, I open YouTube in order to check if I have any announcements, and I end up watching random videos. Or I want to search for a specific video for a specific reason, and I will, the homepage, you see the recommended videos of YouTube, and then I will just lose track of time, and I will even not watch the video I originally went into YouTube for. It's kind of crazy if you think about it that this happens to us, and I know that I'm not the only one. In the past, in the distant past, YouTube had the option when you logged into YouTube, you could see your subscriptions right away, not the recommended videos from YouTube. But now there is no such option, which is really bad for people who don't want to waste their lives on YouTube. There was also another option. I don't know if it's still available. I will have to search for it, where you could pause your YouTube history. And basically, YouTube would not give you recommended videos. And when you logged in to YouTube, the homepage would say you have turned off YouTube history, something like that. It would not suggest any videos. I don't know if they still have that. I hope they do, and I will do that if they have it. Because I don't want to waste my time. Simple as that. I decided to abstain from my phone for 7 days. Of course, I used my phone in order to talk to my dad, in order to check my work schedule, which they sent on Messenger, so I needed the internet anyway. But I did not talk to any of my friends. I did not check YouTube for 7 days. I kept at it even if I did have to use my phone. And the reason I wanted to abstain from my phone was because I believed that this was to blame for my lack of writing. And although I did realize what was keeping me behind and what was eating my time when it came to the internet and the social media, I also realized that this wasn't the problem when it came to my writing. Because even without social media, I found ways to waste my time anyway. My mind has always been very chatty. Thoughts keep coming up about what happened in the past, what could happen in the future, or fictional scenarios with fictional characters, which are not really meant for writing. They are something different, something personal, and oftentimes something may happen in real life that will make me angry, and then I will imagine these fictional characters fighting or something. So I will release my anger through these characters. Finally, in regards to social media and the internet, in my opinion, the worst thing with the internet and social media is that we have it available on us, on our person, all the time. It's on our phone. We check the time. What time is it? We also see who sent us a message. It also depends on what other types of notification we have turned on our phones. I have disabled the notifications. For these 7 days, I had disabled them and I did not check them at all. But in the past, I have also disabled the notifications from Messenger, from Viber, from WhatsApp, from Facebook. Although I had disabled them in order to not check everything the moment it appears on my phone, what I ended up doing was checking, opening Facebook, opening Messenger, opening Viber, and seeing if I have a message. So this actually didn't work at all. And even with movies on Netflix or in general the internet, it can be detrimental. And we all know that because if it's a TV show, a series with many episodes, we will watch more than one. We don't have advertisements. Nothing is stopping us except for our will and our discipline if we have that, and most people don't. In the end, it's all up to our discipline and our will to really change our lives, to really work on our goals. Many people don't have goals. They just work a life, work a job, they come back, they check social media, they scroll because this relaxes them. But the truth is that what we do at that moment, we do not allow our brains to truly relax. We keep ourselves engaged until the last minute. We do not allow ourselves, our brains, to take a breath when we come back from work and we scroll and we scroll. It can also affect us depending on what we are seeing. I see people all the time. They wake up in the morning and check the news or social media where people post news articles. You don't know what you're going to see. You may read something very negative. Why would you want this negativity first thing in the morning to follow you to the rest of your day? I am not going to talk about the biological detriment that happens from the screen, from the LED light, from the social media in general, and how it affects our psychology. I think this is something people know anyway, right? We know of these things, but we still do stupid things. It's important to take a step back and ask, where do I want to be tomorrow? How do I want my life to be like? Because, yes, some people work many hours, they come home, they are too tired to even think. But do you want to spend the rest of your life like that? If you truly want to make a change, you have to build your will and your self discipline. Basically, use social media and the internet very purposefully. There are so many beautiful and creative things that we can do in our lives instead of doom scrolling. You have to ask yourself, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be tomorrow? And, maybe this can work as an initial motivation in order to go through with this. and to decide that, okay, I will no longer use social media and the internet as an escape, but as a help to my life. So if I want to learn a program to make music, I will check tutorials. But in the end, this is only going to be an initial motivation. In the long run, you need discipline. So, with everything you want to do with the internet, if it's entertainment, okay, if you want to watch a movie or an episode from a series, you have to put some kind of a limit. You have to say one episode, two episodes, and that's it. It doesn't matter how much suspense or what a cliffhanger there is. You just have to do what you decide to do. This is going to build character, to strengthen your will. Okay, so after a quick internet search, the right term is boundaries. Set boundaries in your life and always be purposeful. Have a direction. It's very important to have a direction because if you don't have a direction, you will just be drifting aimlessly, right? So then, what difference would it make if you watch three more episodes or if you doom scroll for 5 hours? We need to have goals in our lives or a direction. You may want to do something creative, but not know what that is. Just experiment. Make it a goal to experiment, to try all forms of creativity. Try writing, try drawing, painting. Try to have some kind of direction in your life because if we don't have that, then it's impossible to set boundaries. You will always ask yourself, why? What's the point? And remember, if you are the kind of person who was raised by social media, more or less, if you had social media in your life since you were a child, and if you now have more difficulty in socializing with others, most of these people, not all of them, but many of them, have great difficulty in setting goals and being motivated because their brains have learned to constantly receive quick satisfaction, quick results, quick everything. And that's biological. That has to do with the dopamine. You need to search about the effect social media and the internet has in you, not psychologically, but biologically. How it affects your hormones, how it disrupts your sleep, and how it can make you unmotivated, how it can make you depressed. So that's another topic and a very important one in order to have direction in life and to have goals and in order to have the motivation, the initial motivation in order to set boundaries. So I would suggest if you are this kind of person to do your research. And remember, the most important thing is to become a strong person. And most of us, maybe we were very strong people as children, but in time we reach a point where we wonder, what now? We feel very weak to stand in our feet and we need to build that strength again. Social media can help in the way that you will find like-minded people, that you can share advice with one another, you can give mental strength, you can give the inspiration or you can receive the inspiration from others. And this can happen with people, this can happen with a song, with a painting, with a comic. There are many things that can build a person's strength, and this is a beautiful thing that we have as humans. Remember, becoming better at something is never a line that goes like that. It's always like this. Sometimes the dive is too deep, but that's how it goes. It's not like this. We are not robots that just keep getting upgrades. And sometimes they make an upgrade in an application and it crashes completely. You can take nature as an example. There is spring where everything blooms, and then there is winter where nature dies, and then there is spring again. and the cycle continues. This is also human nature. We have our ups and downs, small deaths and big rebirths. That's all I had to say. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, no matter where you are in your journey. And I hope that you find a direction in your life. And when you find a direction, you will find the strength to keep trying and to keep persisting no matter how many times you fall.